Finally, the moment the world has been waiting for, the legendary beast, the A-10 Thunderbolt II, better known as the Warthog, returns to the spotlight. And this time, it's not about its rugged armor or its unmatched survivability. It's about the weapon that defines it, the heart and soul of the aircraft, the monstrous GAU-8 Avenger, a 7-barrel, 30mm rotary cannon, capable of tearing through tanks, fortifications, and anything unlucky enough to be in its path. Today, the A-10 once again puts its signature weapon to the test. Picture this, a stretch of barren desert, silent and still. No cities, no roads, only open land prepared for destruction. The air vibrates with anticipation. And then, low on the horizon, a shape emerges. The A-10 doesn't soar like a modern stealth jet. It doesn't race with the sleek lines of a fighter. Instead, it stalks, slow, steady, relentless. Like a predator that knows exactly what it was built to do. At its core, the GAU-8 Avenger is unlike anything else. It weighs nearly 4,000 pounds. So massive that engineers had to design the entire plane around it. The barrel alone is the length of a Volkswagen Beetle. And when it fires, it doesn't sound like gunfire. It doesn't sound like artillery. It sounds like thunder being ripped apart. The infamous BRRRRT that soldiers on the ground know all too well. As the test begins, the Warthog lines up on its target. A row of decommissioned tanks waits below, silent hulks of steel, once symbols of armored power. The pilot squeezes the trigger, and suddenly, a storm of 30mm shells erupts. Each round, nearly the size of a beer bottle, leaves the barrels at 3,300 feet per second. The air itself seems to shatter. The first impact tears open the tank's armor. The second punches through what's left. By the time the burst ends, the targets are nothing but burning wrecks. But the power of the GAU-8 is not just brute force. It is precision. The gun is so accurate, it can place 80% of its fire inside a 5-meter circle, while the aircraft is flying at over 300 miles per hour. That means an A-10 pilot can strike with surgical precision, even against moving armor, even in the chaos of the battlefield. The world may ask, why test it now? Why bring back the Avenger in 2025? The answer is simple. Even in an age of drones, stealth fighters, and hypersonic weapons, the A-10 still proves its worth. Its cannon is not a relic of the past. It's a reminder of something irreplaceable. Close air support. The promise that when ground troops are in trouble, the Warthog will arrive. Low, slow, unstoppable. Imagine being on the battlefield, your unit pinned down by enemy armor, the roar of tanks growing louder, and then you hear it. The distant growl of turbofan engines, the unmistakable sound of an A-10 closing in. A shadow sweeps across the ground, and the BRRRT follows. In seconds, the threat is gone. The battlefield belongs to you again. That is why the A-10 matters. That is why the GAU-8 remains unmatched. But this test is not only about the past, it is about the future. Every round fired today, every destroyed target, sends a message. The A-10 is not done yet. It may not carry stealth coatings, it may not break the sound barrier, but in its role, it remains the deadliest aircraft ever built. And let us not forget, the GAU-8 is more than just a gun. It is a symbol, a reminder that sometimes raw firepower still matters. That precision and shock can decide a battle. That technology does not always replace experience. As the test concludes, the desert is silent again. Only smoke and wreckage remain. The Warthog turns, banking wide, engines humming with steady power. It does not need to prove anything more. The message is clear. The A-10 and its Avenger cannon are still very much alive. So finally, after years of debate, after whispers of retirement, after endless questions about its future, the Warthog roars once again. The GAU-8 speaks, and the world listens. This is not just a test, it is a statement. The A-10 is here, it is ready, and it will never be forgotten.